No.
Time now for the Tropical Update at the Weather Channel. I'm Paul Emick with Barry Johnson, our director this hour. A lot to talk about, a lot to look at. Pacific still an active spot with what is now Tropical Storm Olaf. Look at the current position here. 13.7 north, and it's 94.7 west. 180 miles south of Salina Cruz, Mexico. Winds 50 miles per hour sustained, moving north-northwest at 9 miles an hour. Pressure estimated around 2953 inches of mercury, 1,000 millibars. That's it right there. Moving still pretty steadily north-northwest, although more of a northwesterly direction. The component is kind of expected that may even bring it in somewhere to the east. Just to the east of Acapulco. That's one of the current trajectories. First of all, let's see what the tropical storm warnings are from Punta Maldonado all the way down to Tapachula. So the warning conditions persist there for very choppy seas and incredible winds that could be blowing in here. Let's look at the satellite picture. You can see that's it right there. Pretty amazing system. You look at that kind of convection taking place there. And it's churning very close to landing in the direction, moving somewhat to the north-northwest. So it may move on a little bit, but it looks like more of a northwesterly expectation there, but it doesn't look like it has a lot of the oomph to make it a very long way, and is forecast to move in again just to the east of Acapulco, but plenty of convection taking place there. As we look in the Atlantic, we've been keeping an eye on so many spots in the Atlantic, and looks like high pressure is in place in parts of the Gulf of Mexico. High pressure is a good thing for the life of a tropical system if it wants to develop. This map represents upper-level winds. These aren't really the steering winds that move them around, but these are basically the winds about 40,000 feet up, the 200 millibar level, that can easily do one or two things. They can either make a great spot for a storm to develop up in, to build in, kind of build up under, or the winds, where they're too strong, can literally rip or shear a system apart and give it no chance of development whatsoever. That's been kind of the deal here with the westerlies, pushing here off South America on toward Africa, where we see the waves come off, often during Cape Verde season, kind of running out of that rapidly though, but this region where waves come from, one of those spots of pre-existing circulation we talk about. You have to have a spin that's going before it can even start to have a hope of becoming some type of tropical system. The pre-existing spins that continue to move off the coast there are running into resistance in the upper levels, kind of chopping them up a bit. High pressure aloft, though, is a spot where storms can develop, although now we're looking at a system not really showing a lot of potential. We've been watching the churning taking place in the Western Caribbean for some time. High pressure is aloft, but it looks like it's having a tough time getting some circulation going at the present time. Even a little further south, there's some indications that low-level circulation may begin, but there's still kind of a wait-and-see approach toward that. Of course, we are monitoring it here at the Weather Channel as well. And, of course, the folks at the National Hurricane Center are the absolute word when it comes to these things, and they're staying very much on top of the situation here. Even if nothing becomes of it, Florida, you're still seeing the result of this very, very steady flow of tropical moisture. You know that tonight around Tampa, some 15-inch amounts are not going to be common in around the Hillsborough, Pinellas County area over the next 24 hours. It's going to be an amazing time, but still, very steady supply of moisture out of the tropics moving in, even some Atlantic moisture being drug in by area of low pressure and low pressure at the surface, too, helping to drag it all up that way. Looking toward Puerto Rico, been some convection and some storminess popping up there, but again, because of the strong westerly winds, doesn't appear that much is going to happen. Some of the blow-off of some of the clouds, you can kind of see them kind of being blown back, the highest of clouds, that is, and don't expect much other than a lot of storms around the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, not a lot of chance of development. Here's another wave about to exit the coast of Africa, all the way across the Atlantic, but again, not a real favorable spot for expected the spin up here to amount to anything. Look at this, pretty impressive. You can look right there and see that eye there, the center of circulation, very, very visible now. This is now Super Typhoon Ginger, moving west-northwest, 8 miles an hour, winds inside around 161 miles an hour. Looks like it's going to kind of eventually begin to move kind of north-northeast, and as it continues that trek of moving north-northeast, it's going to kind of run up into the westerly flow aloft and kind of get chopped up or sheared, as we spoke of moments ago. That's not it for all the action that's taking place in the western Pacific. I want to step out of the shot here, let you see what's happening. A cyclone moving northeast towards Bangladesh, currently in the Bay of Bengal. It's moving toward the mouth of the Ganges River, and this is such a low agricultural area that this could be a major problem. A lot of wet weather persists across the U.S. tonight, especially around the Tampa area. Very, very wet. We'll have a look at some of the scenes of what's happening around the Tampa area now. The amazing rain totals continue to pile up. We'll have complete details next with Jeff Morrow in the Forecast Center on WeatherScope. You must stay tuned for that.